Hi, I'm Shelley Chittum. I'm your Integra Clinical Specialist. I'm working with your local educator here, Dawn Hughes, and with your local rep, Ryan Lillis for Integra. And this is the Licox PbTO2 monitor, aka brain oxygenation monitor. First, to start out with, it's just like any other monitor. You're going to have a power button. I'm going to depress it right now. You can see a green illuminated light here that lets me know that the adapter charge is plugged in. And I know that also because this is actually where it plugs, that red cable. Whenever your surgeon tells you that they want to place a PbTO2 catheter or a Licox probe, you're immediately going to go plug your monitor in and turn it on. During the first few hours of warm-up, it's actually calibrating the temperature portion of this monitor. It has nothing to do with the accuracy of your PbTO2 probe once it's placed. It's simply that this is calibrating its own internal algorithm. Again, it is not going to impact whether you are treating the number once the catheter has settled. So it's powering up right now, and it is a 3-hour warm-up in total. But in the midst of all of this, you're going to be getting set up for your actual insertion. Just to orient you to the screen a little bit here, on the right-hand side of the screen, you have PTO2, same thing as PbTO2. We say PTO2 because this monitor is also used in Europe for tissues other than the brain, so it is a partial pressure of oxygen within the tissue. So you have 2 dashes there, which lets me know that there's nothing connected to it right now. You'll see this little marking here that looks like an alarm bell, just like you would expect. And underneath that, that is the threshold that's like the default. So there is a default setting on the alarm of 15. I see that just by literally looking at the main screen. You know that there's no probe connected because there's dashes down here. It literally tells you insert the smart card for probe, which we're going to do prior to any placement of a probe into the brain. On the left-hand side of the screen here, you're going to actually see the temperature, and that is the portion that's calibrating during that warm-up. Down here, you see the alarm bell. That's what will siren. All of us nurses really love alarms, but here is a battery indicator as well, and it lets you know that there is a plug there that's actually being plugged into the wall. Of note, this takes about 5 hours to fully charge once the battery has discharged, and you only have a power reserve on the battery of 1.5 hours. So typically speaking, you're going to be disconnecting the probe from the actual monitor for any types of transport. Now, if it's a quick CT and you don't mind something being tethered to the patient, then feel free to disconnect. Across the top of the monitor, you will see tabs that are touchscreen. The first one is main. We're on the main screen. The next one is trend. Just like you would expect, you have the ability to trend per the scale that you've selected. There's a PTO2 scale, which is going vertically up here. Right now, it's going from 0 to 30 millimeters of mercury. I can change that by just depressing it. I went to 0 to 50, 0 to 100, and so forth, and back to 0 to 30. Across the bottom is my time scale. I can actually press that, and I'm looking now in, it looks like 12-hour increments, and it tells me what the interval is down here, 24, 48, and then 120, which is 5 days. And I'll go back to just the 3-hour increments here. A Licox probe is never going to be inserted for more than the 5 days because per the manufacturer, aka Integra, we actually suggest that you change it if you want to leave it in longer than that. So 5 days is the maximum that we have given to the FDA as what it's approved for. Over here on the trend screen, you're also going to be seeing continuously whatever is being transmitted for the actual brain tissue oxygenation and the temperature here. The next tab, it's the alarm tab. Remember I was telling you that the default is 15. Most of the algorithms being utilized by neurointensive care these days is treating if less than 20. So I would go here and I would put the arrow up till I got 20. I'm always going to be told what to do here. I need to accept it. So I hit accept, and now you see I'm back on that main screen. You see the alarm bell, and it's over 20 because I've changed the default. Settings. Just as it would note, it would be the time and the date change, the language change, all of those right now. Right now, it looks like we're at 10 o'clock at night, so, but it is November the 9th, which is correct. So I'm going to go then I hit accept. And then synchronize to monitor. We're not going to do that for purposes of today's demonstration, but the easy thing to think about here is that you will have a cable that is connected to your GE monitor. You see that the clock is basically going down, and it's a 60-second clock that all you need to do is you're going to go up and hit 0 on your patient monitor, just like you would 0 any other pressure line for CVP, art line, ICP, whichever port you have put this in and labeled for Licox, you're going to go up and hit 0 on that. And what's happening, it literally tells you transmitted value. This is this monitor syncing to your monitor, sending a calibration of a 0 millimeters of mercury threshold. Once you've done that on the monitor, you hit done right there on the touch screen. And then you're back to your main screen.